And given how little Canada has paid in year after year, do you trust President Trump? I mean, he seemed pretty clear in the Oval Office. You know, we support them militarily, and we're happy to do that. Do you expect that he would come to your aid militarily if needed?
We have very integrated defense forces. NORAD, which is the defense force for the Arctic, for the ballistic missile defense and other things, is highly integrated. We've just announced a major investment, which is state-of-the-art, over-the-horizon radar in the north, for example. We're moving to 365-day presence, air, land, and sea in the north. We have confidence, full confidence in our defense relationship with the United States, as we do with all NATO partners.
Okay, so you're confident that if you needed them, they would support you.
As they are confident that we would support them if they need us.
Okay, with your tiny military and a lot of broken equipment.
It's not that tiny.
Now, we're talking a lot about defense, of course, because the world's in a precarious place. And one of the things I want to talk to you about is a big hot spot, obviously, the war in Ukraine.
Well, we are the largest per capita contributor to Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, but in terms of bringing about peace, President Trump has positioned himself as a key peace broker there between Putin and Zelensky. Do you trust that he's an honest broker in that regard, in representing the interests of Ukraine, Europe, and the West?
I do. A straight answer, I do. Let me take an opportunity, though, to salute the work of Prime Minister Starmer and President Macron in forming this coalition of the willing, where Canada is one of few, I should say, Australia's there, New Zealand, non-European members of the coalition of the willing, in creating both a capacity support for Ukraine, creating a pathway to security guarantees, helping to tighten financial sanctions, and providing support for U.S. what have been bilateral or trilateral conversations around peace, coming back and forth, I know, with some volatility. But that is now, those are starting to converge as we sit here today, Thursday being an important day in Istanbul as a part of a process. And if you'll note, and I'm sure you have, the positions of Canada, the UK, all the coalition of the willing, Ukraine, and the United States are converging towards this unconditional 30-day ceasefire demand of Russia. So the President has been helpful, as, very importantly, has the Prime Minister, President of France, other members, including Canada, who I would remind is the largest per capita contributor to Ukraine.
So momentum there from what you're saying. I know that you like to go from the personal to the general pretty quickly, but I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your values as a leader, if I may. You're new to politics, but you have been the ultimate insider. You've been called Davos man. You sort of represent the establishment, rules-based order. A lot of that is in retreat. It's mistrusted by people because they feel like it's failed them. Do you accept any of that?
Well, there's a lot in that question. Has there been a cost of living crisis, including in Canada? Yes. Has inequality gone up in a number of countries? Yes, not in Canada, actually, following transfers. So inequality has actually flatlined and gone slightly down in Canada the last several years. Are there challenges with globalization and tilting of vote? Absolutely. I've identified those over time. So there are a series of those issues, and they are real, and they translate to people. And people want solutions. Now, the solution that Canadians chose is me. We got more votes than any other party has ever got in Canadian history. We won the majority in 7 provinces. We won far many seats. And the solution that we're looking to is, first and foremost, to build one Canadian economy, a fairer Canadian economy, and to build out trading relationships with reliable partners. So it's not a turn inward strategy that Canadians are embracing.
That's interesting because you did win, obviously. I congratulated you at the beginning. Yeah. Populists are not in power here or in the UK, but they're hard on your heels, as they are in the UK.
They were ahead by 25 percentage points.